Hey y'all, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full set. It's a pretty simple set, but I'm going to jazz it up with some 3D flowers. So if you would like to learn how to do those, just stay tuned till the end. And to start off, I've already did my natural nail prep, and then I went in and applied my tips. And what I'm doing is just blending those tips. The ones that I'm using are pretty thick, so I want to be sure that I get those wings blended in and that I also kind of even out that surface. Okay, once I have that done, I'll clean the nails, make sure they're free from dust. I'll take a nail brush, spray it with alcohol, and then brush off the nails. Once I've done that, I'll come in with my dehydrator, and I'll do that once on both hands, and then I'll come in with my primer, and I'll do that twice on both hands. Now, once I've done that, I'll immediately go in and apply a clear base. Okay, on this one, I'm going to be doing the popular French. Everybody has been getting a French design in their set. So on this one, I'm going to be doing more of the V shape. So I'm just going to take those edges in and bring them to a point. And on this V shape, I'm making sure that I'm not bringing it all the way down to that free edge. You still want to be able to leave space for your color. So don't bring it all the way down. Make sure that you leave space. For this one, it's just going to be all nude, and I'm not too concerned about it being opaque. I just want to make sure that I get the color on because it's going to be the background to the 3D flowers. Here I'm going to take a bead and place it at the center of her nail, and I'm just going to bring that product all the way down, and then I'll give it time to dry, and I'll come back and I'll do the cut because it's going to be a side cut design.
Perfect.
All right, now that that's had some time to dry, it has lost its shine completely. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start at the corner and then work my way through the opposite corner and just take out that whole side piece. And I'll go in and I'll clean it up and make sure that there's no excess still there. So when I come in with my glitter, it can go on evenly. After I do that, I'll just go in with my cuticle bead. All right, here on her thumb, it's going to be just all glitter. And don't mind the discoloration. My client, she is a student and she plays volleyball, and she had an accident with her last set. So that's just a bruise. But I'm just going to have this one full coverage of glitter, and then I'll go in and cap it.
Perfect.
All right, now that I have those completely dry, I'm just going to go in and sharpen up those edges. And once I have the edges sharp like I want them, I'll go through the body and make sure that it's even. All right, once I have those cleaned off, I'll go in with my glitter, and I'm taking a small bead, placing it at the free edge, and then just walking that product back, making sure that I'm tucking those sides up against my sharp edge. All right, once I have that glitter laid down, I'm going to cap it in clear. And I'm taking a small bead and focusing mainly on that free edge part. I want to make sure that it's already even with what I have on the body of the nail. So when you come in and you lay your first bead of nude, you're making it to where it's enough product there that you won't have to come in and too much worry about capping the whole nail. So that's why I do the free edge part first. So then I can kind of see where there's any inconsistency. Now I'll come in and I'm just placing a small bead, and that's just going to make sure that I have those sides sealed. And then I'll do that on the other nail also. All right, once I have her capped and finished filed, I'll take her nails and clean them off, and I'm going to top coat the nail where the 3D flowers go. Okay, to start off the 3D flower, I'm going to use my Ugly Duckling 3D art brush, and I'm going to take a small bead, place it down, and then the first thing I'm going to do is start forming that bead into a ball. And the reason why I do this is so when I come in and actually start pressing it to make my petals, when I put my brush into that ball, it'll immediately puff out where I'm making the indentation. So it won't be flat. Instead, I'm going to get more of a puffed out indentation. And that's what you want when you're creating these kind of 3D flowers. You also want to be sure that once you've placed that bead and you have formed it into a ball, you wait and give time for it to lose its shine. This might be the most important step, because if you go in and you try to form it while it's still wet, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So wait till it loses its shine, and then that's when you start going in and forming your petals. A way to help me do that is I'll go in, and after I have one bead down, I'll go and place another bead, and then I'll come back to the first bead and start forming that. So that way I'm giving time for that new bead to set up. So you'll see me jumping back and forth from each petal, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just giving time for it to lose its shine. So when it comes to actually pressing your petal, you want to take your brush and you want to press in the middle first. I've made my first indentation, and you can see that my brush, the tip is pointed inwards. When it comes to pressing out my sides, the tip of my brush is still pointed inwards. It's still pointed at that same spot. And then I'm going to just use the body of the brush to push out the sides and make the indentions of the petal. But look at there, the tip of my brush is always pointed inward. Then you want to use your brush, the body of it, just to press it out and press out the petal. Then I'll also come through and I'll just straighten up the edges of the petal, making sure that it's not wider than the first petal. So try to focus on the positioning of your brush, because that's what's going to help you. Try to visualize the center point of the flower, and just make sure that every time you take your brush, the tip of that brush is pointed towards that center, and that'll give you your starting point to each petal so they come out more evenly. It may even help to start off with your center first. So think of whatever you want the center of your flower to be. It could be diamonds, it can be a small bead of acrylic, it could be micro beads, but whatever it is, lay that down first, and then you can come in and make your petals around that. And if you're just starting out trying to learn this technique, take your time. You don't have to place one bead and then place another bead and go back and forth like I did. This is me working on a client, so I'm trying to get through the service, but do one petal at a time. Wait for it to go semi-matte and then go in and press it out. Do not try to rush this, because you have to take your time and make sure that your placement is right. And then the faster you get at doing it, that's when you can kind of go back and forth like I'm doing between each petal. For this design, we wanted a full nail of 3D flowers, so I'll just continue making them and filling up as much space as I can.
Perfect.
Now here when I pressed that petal out, it was too flat. It was a small bead, so it was drying too fast. So I just removed it before it completely dried and started over.
Perfect.
All right, once I have all those flowers made, I'm going to go in with my Ugly Duckling adhesive, and I'm going to fill in those center spots with quite a bit of the adhesive, and then I'm going to place diamonds in the center. Also come through and add diamonds in those empty spots just to kind of fill the nail up. Alright guys, that completes her set. All I'll do now is just give her her final top coat and she's good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.